Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Um, gonna do a quick tutorial for you this evening, kind of going off of what we've been doing. If you haven't joined us yet, we started a series on animating limbless characters. But a fellow animator, Michael and Toro, put up this on his Instagram a while back. If you get a chance, follow him, check him out. He's a great animator, does some really cool stuff. But it was a target bone face rig where basically you move the target bone around and the face moves with the target bone. And a lot of people, he actually posted his process on his Instagram. Um, but a lot of people were asking questions on how they could do it. So I just thought I would jump in and give you guys maybe a possibility on how you could do that quickly. And so what I have right here is a character. Just kind of set him up in layers. I got the body. Always, if you have questions, you can just jump in the chat and ask. But like I said, it's gonna be quick. I'm feeling better, so I'm ready to go. Create something here. So we got the body layer. We got the shadow layer right here. We got the face, which is basically the eyes and the mouth. Really quick. Put that in a group, and then in the group, what we did was, sorry, double click on the group here, and I'll show you what we did. Well, it ain't coming up. Anyway, on the group, you look at the group. There we go. Go to masking, hide all, which will allow the last layer in the group to be the mask. So the body is the mask. So now if the eyes or the mouth or the shadow moves outside of the mask, you won't see it. It's going to be confined within that circle. All right. So I'm just letting you know how that's set up. And then I put all of that into a bone layer. So here we go. So the basics of this is you, a quick rig on him would be bone there and a bone there. Get rid of all the strength on that, and I'm just swiping to the left to take all of the strength off of those bones. All right, because I like to bind my bones. So I just grab that bone, click on that layer. I'm gonna bind the whole layer, click on the bone, and all of that should be bound to the bone, the whole circle, the face, and all that. And as you can see, as we move it, it is. All right. So quick little how you bind that together right there. So now what we want to do, Alt click, make sure nothing's selected, is we're going to add a bone here. Oh, Control Z, I'm going to try that again. Add a bone here to the face. Right there. Alt click, and then we're going to add a bone down here. Alt click. All right. We're going to take all the strength off of these bones, just like that, by just swiping to the left. All right. Got questions? Jump on in. We're going to call this one up and down or down and up. So just put a D and a U. All right. And then we'll call this one side to side. SS. All right. So now we need to add some actions to these bones, or let's just parent these bones. We're going to parent this bone to the root bone there. And then we'll click on this. No, we want to parent it there. Click on this bone, and then we'll parent it to the root bone as well. We'll label our bones, body. This is root. Rooty. Nice. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make this bone. We're going to add an action to it. I come out to like 48. Click on the transform bone tool. And the trick here is you don't want to go past pointing to the top of the head. You don't want to go all the way out here. You want to go right to the top of the head there. And then we're going to grab the face, all the face parts, right? And we're going to move them up just like that. Really easy. Grab the shadow right here. We might adjust that a little bit just to show some more movement. Okay, and that way when we move that bone up, double click on controls, double click on main line, so that when you see it, when that bone moves up, the face moves up. All right. Click on the add another action, and since we already named it, down up 2 will appear. Go out to 48, transform bone tool, grab it. We don't want it to extend past the bottom of the sphere. All right, go back to the face properties there, grabbing the face, all the parts of the face, so select it, pulling it down. I'm gonna grab the shadow just so we can show some more movement here, and I'll adjust the shadow, even though the light probably will not be changing, but just it'll show more dramatic movement with the character there. So that's our up down. Click on the bones, double click on main line. Okay, now let's go out to this other bone, which is our side to side bone. Click on it, hit add an action, go to 48, grab the transform bone. Once again, not wanting to point outside of the sphere, grabbing the face, sliding it over. Yeah, I mean, depending on how good of an animator you are and how detailed you want to make it. I mean, I've read things where the Pixar guys, 2 minutes of animation in a day is pushing it. But I think in the 2D world, you might be able to get that done. It's possible. The question was, do you think it's possible to finish a 2-minute animation in a day? If so, what times are you looking at? I mean, I've completed some 2-minute animations fairly quickly, but it's not that great of an animation. I'm slapping it together. It doesn't have all the detail, everything in it. I mean, I'm just trying to spit something out that looks decent. So for something that you really want to take your time with and make look good, I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, you're good at reference, you know how it's going. I think you could probably complete something pretty nice like that. Now that's the animation. Maybe that's not filling the background, everything else like that. All your camera moves, lighting. I mean, that's a whole nother level. So a whole complete animation might be tough to make that happen. I'll say so side to side. That's our move there. All right. Let's move that shadow over here just to give us more dramatic movement. And I like to actually grab this and kind of squash it just a little bit to give us a little bit of perspective. We talked about perspective in a past tutorial. In fact, I think it was the face turn tutorial. So we'll go back up to the control, go back up to main line, click on it again, come back out to 48, transform bone tool, move it, not going past the sphere right there. I don't have anything available right now that you can watch. They're asking, Notorious Wolf's asking if I have any animations that I could watch already. You can go to my YouTube channel and see a bunch of old stuff that I've done. I don't have any recent stuff right here that I could put out to show and pull off of this computer. It's usually at my office computer. I'm in my home right now. So go to this side here, grabbing the face, pulling it off to the side. And once again, I'm gonna grab it and just kind of squash it in a little bit, and then we'll take the shadow and we'll move it here. I do have a more recent one. It was ant racing that I did, and it was a quick animation that I actually did in a day. So if you want to go check that out, either on Troy Picou the Works or on my Instagram, you can see something that I did there. All right, so let's go back up to main line here. So if we take our, this goes up and down, this goes side to side. All right, so that's what we're gonna do here. So Alt click, add a new bone. We're gonna add this bone right in the middle because that's how he did it. All right, and then we're gonna take all the strength off of that bone, and we will name that bone. Let's call it Tar. That's going to be our target bone. So we'll click on that bone. We will come here to target, and we will make that a target of the target bone. That bone there, up, down. Close that out. We'll click this bone here. We'll make it also look at the target. So now, if we grab the target bone, whoa, it goes crazy, just like that. Must be looped the something. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, see, he's right now. The issue was he was parented to here, and I didn't have it clear. Notorious Wolf, man, really, I think YouTube's full of tutorials out there. In fact, on my channel, I have 70, maybe 30 tutorials. I have 70 videos all together. But man, there's a lot of good guys out there. You just got to search Moho Anime Studio, because a lot of those, the question was, how do you learn Moho? Because he finds the lack of tutorials. A lot of things he had to learn on his own. I really, YouTube's full, really is. I really think that if you search some of the guys out, even on the forums on Facebook, there's some good forums out there that you can look into and find you some good information. And a lot of guys are willing, and girls are willing to help. So now that we unparented that, if we move this target bone around, there we go. His face is just moving right along with it. And it's basically that simple, right? So if we wanted to quickly, and if you wanted to, we could take those bones right there. We could hide these selected bones. So now it looks magical, right? You just grab that bone, move it around. Nobody knows what's going on there. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to add a squash and stretch, and we'll do something really quick. All right. Alt click right there. We're going to make it a smart bone, and we'll go SQST right there. And for squash and stretch on a character like this, you just grab that transform bone tool. But first, before we do that, I forgot. Back up the main line right here. Bone constraints, click on squash and stretch, close it out, right? So that, sorry, squash and stretch, close. So now we want to make sure, get that off of there. So that bone squash and stretch is enabled, all right? So now if we click on squash and stretch 1, when we grab that transform bone tool, once we squash this bone, you can see the volume is staying with the character there as we squash him down. So that'll work. Click on squash and stretch 2, come here, go just the opposite way, pull it up just like that. Click on the main line to get out of the actions, right? Go here, frame 1, Control F freezes the pose. We've been talking about that. Come to 12 right here. We're going to turn, we're going to squash him, and we're going to look by just moving that target bone off to the side. Right about halfway, we want to squash him down. We want to move his face down by just moving that target bone that we just made and go back to the beginning. So now it looks up, come to about frame 18, Control F to freeze the pose again, and about 30, we want to go back to where we were at the beginning. So we're going to copy that pose, and then we're going to paste it in place right there. Right in between that, we want to squash it down. Hey, thanks, family. Appreciate it. You mind if I call you family for short? Squash it in the middle, bring it down right there, and pop it back up. There we go. So let's play that through, see what we got. All using a simple target bone face rig. So that's basically what I wanted to show you guys. 15 minutes took us to make a target bone face rig on a simple character, but you can use the same principles and use it on any of your characters using that target bone. Just make sure your up and down bones and your side to side bones are pointing towards the target bone, and as you move the target bone around, it'll move whatever you're trying to get it to move in the middle. Key point is to make sure that the bones that you're setting up to move the up and down don't overextend, because that would mean that you would have to pull this target bone way up here to get that full motion of the bone to move it. So you want to have a small increments in your bone, side to side, up and down. That way, that target bone gets it to the full uh, extent of the side to side and up and down, and it can make your whatever parts move. So I hope this has been helpful. Hey, just remember we got hand packs available if you want to animate with me. Will squash and stretch work on squares? Yes, yes, it will. It will work on a square. Let me start opening a new document right here. And it's the exact same principle, right? Just make a square. Nice blue color. I have seen a few body turn tutorials out there. I really don't do full body turns. Um, all right, Gabriel, thanks, man. I Notorious. I have seen a few guys out there do body turns, full body turns, all the way around. In fact, in one of I don't remember which one. You'll have to look it up. In one of the I think it was an anime studio live event that they put on by Smith Micro, where Victor, which used to work for Smith Micro, he's one of the main guys. I mean, he does incredible. He did a bear that did a full body turn, and it looked really good. A couple other guys are putting them out there too. I've seen one or two of them. I just never found the need to do a full body turn, me personally, in the animations that I do. So I never attempted to do it. I just find it can get a little tedious, and if the character is too detailed, I haven't seen a whole lot of them done well. Personally, I'm not saying they haven't. I'm not saying they haven't had people that are doing it well. I just haven't seen a whole lot of them doing it well. So I just don't go there personally. So anyway, back to this rig right here. Let's put this in a bone layer. All right, the square. This is for you, fam. I'm a fan. I'm a fan right here. Gabriel. All right, same exact thing. I get rid of the strength on the bones. All right, and so I'm gonna bind that layer right there to this bone. And all you got to do is click on the layer to bind. If nobody's familiar with that, really quick, to bind a layer to a bone, you click on the layer, you click on the bind layer tool right here, and then you just click on the bone and you bound, right? So that bone right there, we go to bone constraints, squash and stretch, close that up. So now when we move this bone, it did not bind. What am I doing here? There you go. Squashing and stretching, keeping the volume. And that's what you want to do in a squash and stretch. Keep the volume of the character. So I hope that makes sense, guys, with the quick rig that we came up with tonight. Just wanted to show you something quick. We'll be back this weekend to continue with our series that we were doing. So if you could come join me, check it out. Looks like it's going to be Friday night. These tutorials I just do when I have time to do it. But any support you can give as far as Gumroad, got the hand packs available. Also have the character that we're using. So I appreciate everybody who's purchased those already and joining in. Thank you so much. Every bit helps. Hopefully this video you can hear a difference. Hopefully it's in stereo, my voice and the music coming out of both ears. That's the goal. So yeah, Notorious, there are a lot of people. Go check out Cartoon Saloon, I think is the name of a company. They put out several movies actually, and they use Moho. Also, thank you, appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. They put out a couple movies. Song of the Sea was one of them by Cartoon Saloon. If you look on Facebook, there's a couple of groups, and they actually, one of the topics on one of the groups is actually all the different shows that they have available. So you can go check that out online. All right. So, hey guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm going to go now, 20 minutes in. The goal was about 15 to 20 minutes just to show you guys a quick possibility on how you can make this rig happen for yourself. Hope you learned something. Thanks for joining me. Check out my Gumroad page. Help me out, buy a character, buy a hand pack. It'll make me happy. Give it to yourself for Christmas. It'll be a great Christmas present for you. I don't know. Shameless plug. Anyway, thanks a lot. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. We'll see you. Bye.